Hey, hello everybody. I was asked, what in the world, Jeff, is educational renaissance? And one of my positions, in fact, it's my top position on my platform. And I believe that educational renaissance is what we need, not reform. And even though there are fightings over content, and I believe that there are things that just don't belong in our public schools. But anyways, as a whole, educational renaissance is the ability to free children's minds to think, to question, to be creative. And unfortunately, education has two formats, and it's broken down in Latin. In one way is kind of the covering or the exchange of knowledge is maybe what we would say. There's another form of the word education in Latin that means basically to draw out from people their capabilities, to draw out sometimes people may even use the word lead. I don't think lead is appropriate. I think draw out or extract is probably a better way to explain it. So what we want to do is we want to have an educational basis that allows children to think, to question, to become creative, to express themselves in a way that they would come to truthful resolve. And it's not because it's my way or your way or someone else's way, but that we come to this drawing out of truth, and we find out, well, this is not working, is it? This is there's something wrong, something saying maybe normal is broken. But educational renaissance, my idea is this: is that we encourage students to ask questions. Maybe it's not so much how fast they learn or how much they've learned, and certainly to standardize them on a global or national basis. It's probably one of the worst things that we could ever do to humanity as a whole. To think that someone is less standard because of a score, or more standard because of a score. How depressive, how oppressive, and how controlling. So don't get me wrong. I believe that we need to have an understanding. Are people getting it? Are they growing? Do we have an understanding? Well, again, there's a lot of ways to do that, and I have because of the diversity of my children and in my own experiences, that one of my children didn't like to read and struggled with it. In fact, it seemed to be somewhat of an obstacle, and I was a little bit concerned at times. But now this child of mine is an avid reader, loves information, and expresses themselves so appropriately, and has defined the targets of their own life, and I applaud that. It doesn't really matter that whether she met some standard at 3 years old or 5 years old or 8-year-old or 10-year-old, but as an adult, she's making decisions on her own, and she's a mother and a wife, and she has desires and dreams, and now she can resolve these through questions. And all I wanted to ever do with my children was inspire them to continue learning. And so if our children, this next generation of children, could be inspired to continue to learn, not because they have a degree or not because they have a license or a certificate or some sort of ceremony that they went through, but that they have a desire to learn more, to better our community. That is an educational renaissance. I certainly have some things I'd like to instill, but we'll talk that another time. Until then, inspire to make tomorrow better. Make today better. Make your neighborhood, your home, your community a place that thrives in asking questions and learning more. God bless. Have a great day.